up, everybody? Jump in here. This is going to be part 13 to my Elder Scrolls Skyrim Dawnguard DLC playthrough. Today we're actually going to have to go to find this inner sanctum, which is kind of confusing. I didn't really know where the hell it was, but it takes me a second here to find it. I'm kind of exploring anyway. But we have to go there and kill Dude's brother. So pretty much, this is pretty, and we also have to get Arya's bow. So that's the two things we're going to be doing primarily in this video. This is pretty much around the end of the DLC. Like, there's one more part to this, and then I will be done. Thank God. Not that I haven't enjoyed doing it. It's been a lot of fun. It's just that I can be done with it and go back to doing other stuff that I like to do. Mainly upload Mass Effect stuff, because that's what I do. But anyway, alright, so after a while of just looking around and feeling like an idiot, I came down here. I was like, oh, there's a giant bridge. Duh! This is totally where I have to go. So I'm going to go ahead and run over here, and this will lead us to the inner sanctum, which is pretty much the Church of the Snow Elves. Something like that. I don't really know how to describe it, but alright, so this is nothing right here. It's just a statue, and once we run up here, we're gonna have to pretty much put this water we've been collecting all onto this pillar. Actually, I think it's just one bucket of water, even though we've collected 5 buckets of water. I think he said something like you dump it out, which is pretty pointless, but whatever. Now that we've done this, the inner sanctum will open. It takes a second. I thought it might have been a little glitched. I don't know why. So but you give it you give it like a minute, and then all of a sudden, boom, there you go. Now it will open up. Pretty epic looking as well. And now we can investigate this whole little area and see what's going on. Alright. Anyway, this place is a little confusing. It's really cool. Like, I really thought that this like inner sanctum was a really cool area, but it is a little confusing. At least I remember I got kind of confused here and wasted probably about like 3 to 4 minutes being confused. The first thing you're going to notice when we come in here is that there's going to be all these frozen Thelmore, and it's pretty epic, to be honest. Like, there's just a ton of them. Just all these people were just like straight frozen. I mean, they just look really cool. And they all are holding something in their hand if you want to check it out and see if you can find anything useful. I'm sure there's a couple pretty decent items that you can get out these people's hands, but I'm not really gonna bother. If you come over here, this is the part that's kind of confusing. You can put the jug down, and if you put the jug down, it's going to open up the door. Now, the way that this actually works is that you're supposed to take that jug with you in a couple different areas to open up paths and stuff. I believe this is actually the only path that you actually need the jug to open, and then there's another one you have to. If you come over here, there's another, like, there's tons of more frozen people with stuff if you wanted to pretty much look at them and see what they had. There's also just a lot of crap in this room. Yeah, actually, there's a spell tome right here. What is this? That's nothing. I think I already know that spell. I thought that might have been a new spell. I don't really pay attention too much to illusion spells, to be honest, because I think illusion is pretty much the most useless power or magic in the whole game. The only thing useful it has is the invisible spell, but I don't even use that. You don't really need it either, so I mean, that's the thing. Illusion's pretty pointless. But yeah, that's just one of the really dumb spells in the game that makes enemies flee from you or something like that. I don't know. Like, those are so useless as you level up. Alright, so now we can come over here. I thought this was probably the way I had to go, even though this is not the way you have to go. But when you come in here, you'll find a snow giant. So that's pretty much the point of this, is that there's 5 of these snow giants, pretty much just spread out throughout the entire Forgotten Vale. I have found them all on my own time. I didn't do it in the playthrough, but these paragons they're carrying, I think they have something. You can just get like some type of treasure from them. That's it, honestly. Like, and the treasure's really not worth it. There's only one thing that is somewhat worth it, and that is a book for the librarian guy from the College of Winterhold. That's the only useful loot. So if you don't feel like you're doing that, don't worry about it. It's not really worth it unless you are a perfectionist like me who has to do everything. Alright, So right here, we're gonna need the water jug to get into that room. I don't think there's anything really too good in that room. It's probably just some type of treasure or something. And yeah, this room is pointless besides that. So the main two things in this room is just the giant and whatever's behind this door. That's it. But like I said, this is actually an area where I kind of get confused because I didn't really, as I was exploring, I didn't really see another path I could take. I wasn't really looking too hard, so I kind of just like didn't know what to do right here. I'm gonna run around in circles. That and like to be honest, I was in an Xbox Live party talking to some people when I was doing this, and I cannot play a game like this and talk at the same time. I don't know why. Like I could never do a Let's Play for a game made by Bezier because it just would be a nightmare. I would just constantly get lost because like when I'm talking and I'm playing this game, all I tend to do is I just tend to like start running and jumping on stuff. Like that's it. Like I'll just goof around the whole time. I won't actually like try to do anything. I don't know. I'm not very good at multitasking, I guess. That might be the issue. Alright, so we just opened the door. Let's see what's in here. Like I said, there's really nothing that's that fantastic. It's still probably worth grabbing, just because why not? But still, like I said, it's just nothing that you really needed to do. You could close the door behind you. Don't know why you want to do that. I'm actually gonna goof around right here. Let's see here. Yeah, see. If you do that, then the door will close. And then look, I'm going to take the jug. This is actually kind of funny. I'm going to take the jug and trap Serana in there. I thought that would be funny, but she magically will get out, so don't worry about that. Alright, so at this point, I'm still like looking around, being confused like an idiot. Until finally I was just like, screw this. There's got to be something. And you can see her legs sticking out there. It's like, there's got to be something else to this place. Like there's no way that I don't know, like don't ask me why I was that stupid that I stayed in there as long as I did. I just don't know why. Alright, like I said, I don't really think you need the water anymore, so I don't think you have to. Alright, so right here I can actually cut it ahead because I was so confused. I was like, I gotta figure this out. And I didn't want to like mess up and just have like a 10 extra minutes of a video of me just being stupid. So alright, but this is the path we have to go. It's kind of missable, I guess, if you don't explore this whole area first. So you might have the same problem with me, but this is really just the only way you can go, and there's really not much to this place. After you just kind of run through some of these rooms with all these frozen people, you'll pretty much get to where you need to go, which is going to be where we're going to find this guy's brother and talk to him. And just like I said, this place is kind of confusing, so you just need to like stay alert and just kind of like look around until you find something. Here we go. Alright, so this is pretty much where this guy's brother's going to be, and he's going to have Arya's bow, and we have to try to convince him to give it to us instead. That's pretty much the point here. But because it's a video game, of course, it's not going to be that simple. It's just going to be something we all know. But I ain't going to spoil it for you. Pretty much listen to the dialogue and check it out for yourself. Alright, I guess I have a little bit more to go before I get there. Just going to be like a couple, it's like right in the next room. It's just, I'm just like looking around right now. Yeah, you cannot go that way. Okay, thanks. Alright, so here it is right here. This is where we've been trying to get this whole time, just to confront this guy. And there's a lot more frozen people,
really
so let's see what he has to say.
Expecting to claim Ariel's bow? You've done exactly as I predicted, and brought your fetching companion to me. Which, I'm sorry to say, is at an end.
Who's there?
Alright, so now we're going to get attacked by all these frozen creatures. It's actually really easy, just because it's just a lot of little small enemies. Like, these things I think are really weak. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of them though. We're going to have to fight quite a bit. And this whole fight's actually pretty epic, to be honest. At first you're like, oh, this is lame.
Where'd you come from?
But then it gets more and more epic as you go, because the enemies get stronger and stronger, and then some other crazy shit will happen. You could just probably pull out a sword or some type of melee weapon that would make this a lot easier. The crossbow, I mean, it's still gonna mess up these enemies, but at the same time, it's gonna be a lot of close range fighting. That's really the best way to put it. Is that it's just a non-stop close range fighting in this area. So there's your issue. If you can't aim this thing very well up close, which it's easy to aim it up close, it's just a little bit awkward compared to aiming it at like mid-range or something.
You delay nothing but your own deaths.
Watch out! Ceiling.
Alrighty, so like, yeah, that is epic. It's poor Serena. Just got messed up by that roof.
Who's there?
But yeah, like if you look up in the sky too, I didn't actually look up, but if you look up, like, yeah, he's actually pulling the roof down, and that was awesome right there. It's really cool. Like I said, this whole fight's pretty awesome in a lot of ways. It's pretty dope. But anyway, yeah, so I'm just killing the rest of these little enemies. Like, it's really like they really don't throw anything, I don't think, too fantastic at you, and I don't even think you don't actually have to fight that guy. I thought you were gonna eventually have to fight him, but you actually don't have to fight him in this area.
Where'd you come from?
Alright, so this is probably the strongest enemy, is this Frost Astronaut, but yeah, you know how it is. This crossbow's just gonna wreck that thing, and now I'm just gonna kill the rest of these little buggers, little brats, whatever. Just stay out the middle of the room. Like, that's the main thing. Like, don't actually try to venture into the middle of the room. Otherwise, that roof will fall on you, and it does do a lot of damage no matter what. So, you can have like the best armor, and it will just do a lot of damage. So I can imagine if you don't have a lot of armor, then you will probably die. That's pretty much the best way to put it. Alright, I think we're done, actually. Yeah, that's it for the fighting. Alright. So that is pretty epic.
Are you alright? Come on, we can do this. I know we can. He's up there on the balcony. Come on.
Alright, so now we can follow her up to the balcony and pretty much confront him and see why is he so freaking crazy, and why is he the way he is. So let's see what he has to say.
Enough, Vyrthur. Give us the bow.
How dare you? I was the arch-curate of Ariel, girl. I had the ears of a god.
Until the betrayed corrupted you. Yes, we've heard this sad story.
Gelibor and his kind are easily manipulated fools. Look into my eyes, Serana. You tell me what I am.
You're a vampire? But Ariel should have protected you.
The moment I was infected by one of my own initiates, Ariel turned his back on me. I swore I'd have my revenge, no matter what the cost.
You want to take revenge on a god?
Ariel himself may have been beyond my reach, but his influence on our world wasn't. All I needed was the blood of a vampire and his own weapon, Ariel's bow.
The blood of a vampire. Ariel's bow. It was you? You created that prophecy?
A prophecy that lacked a single final ingredient. The blood of a pure vampire. The blood of a daughter of Cold Harbor.
You were waiting all this time for someone with my blood to come along. Well, too bad for you. I intend on keeping it. Let's see if your blood has any power to it.
What
Where'd you come from?
Alrighty, so now we have to defeat him in battle. And pretty much just kill him. Like, that's the thing. He does have... I'm gonna shoot him in his eye. Or just, I'm gonna actually aim just for his head just to see if I can get some epic headshots on him. Yeah, no, he's dead. So, all right, now we can loot his body and his. I'm gonna drag. I was trying to see like did he have any arrows in his face, but anyway, yeah, he's gonna have some of this ancient Felmore armor, which is really cool looking. Honestly, I thought so. Definitely, I'm gonna start wearing that armor. That's gonna be like my main armor probably from this point on. And just because this dude's such a douchebag, I got him all up in his head. But just because this dude's such a douchebag, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of his dumb naked ass and try to throw him off this cliff. It's always fun goofing around with like dead bodies and stuff in this game. It really is. Like, although it's really hard to actually like just throw them over. So I'm sitting here trying to like push them off, but I just can't do it. So instead, I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way, which is if you ever want to just chuck someone off a cliff, just boom, like use unrelenting force to just knock them off. All right. So now we can come down here and talk to his brother and pretty much see what's going on.
The restoration of this way shrine means that Vyrthur must be dead, and the betrayed no longer have control over him. What? What are you talking about? A vampire. I see. That would explain much. Deep inside, it brings me joy that the betrayed weren't to blame for what happened here. Because that means there's still hope that they might one day shed their hatred and learn to believe in Auriel once again. It's been a long time since I felt that way, and it's been long overdue. My thanks to both of you. You risked everything to get Auriel's bow, and in turn, you've restored the Chantry. I can't think of a more deserving champion to carry it than you. If you wish to learn more about the bow, or obtain sun-hallowed arrows for it, I'd be more than happy to help. You've but to ask.
Alright, so now we can retrieve the bow and actually return. We can actually return now, but I'm going to go in and talk to him real quick. But
it's yours.
There was an issue. As I talked to him, I asked him, yeah, my game froze, so epic. So I'm just going to cut it ahead. I had to redo all of that.
The bow was said to be carried by Auriel himself into battle against the forces of Lorcan in ancient and mythic times. Its craftsmanship has no equal anywhere within Tamriel, and possibly beyond. The bow draws its power from Aetherius itself, channeling it through the sun. Therefore, when an arrow is loosed from the bow, it produces a magical effect very similar to being burned by fire. That's actually only a fraction of its potential. With sun-hallowed arrows, you would be able to produce a much more spectacular effect, causing bursts of sunlight to envelop your foes. The sunbursts would certainly hurt anything, but is especially devastating to the undead. Well, using an arrow with the bow that's been dipped in blood may cause it to function differently, corrupting its purpose. That's, of course, if you're foolish enough to try it. I feel nothing but sympathy for the betrayed, despite my actions against them. But I'm afraid that they're well beyond a cure at this point. The twisted forms you've seen didn't occur overnight. It isn't a plague or a disease that ravaged our species. The dwarves may have stolen their sight, but it took many generations for them to become what they are today. Perhaps they'll never return to their former appearance, but over the centuries, I've noticed a rise in their intellect. If a line of communication could be established with them, maybe they can find peace. It's the only way they'll discover that they weren't always malignant. They were once a proud and prosperous race. I can actually assist you in that regard. If you were to bring me some good quality elven arrows, I could imbue them with the proper incantations and rituals. Absolutely. I can only do 20 at a time, so if you want the rest of your arrows blessed, let me know. Certainly. I can only do 20 at a time. I'm afraid I'll need elven arrows if you... While it would fill me with joy to see the Chantry back to its former glory, that time has long since passed. Now that my brother's dead, It's quite possible I'm the last of our kind. There's no need for that kind of talk. I said it was possible. It's also quite possible that there are some other isolated conclaves of snow elves nestled elsewhere on Nirn. I'll also assume Vyrthur didn't exactly give you the option to stay your hand. For the time being, I will remain here on the Overlook and continue trying to keep the Sanctum free of the betrayed. You're always welcome to return here at any time, of course. Farewell, friend. May the warmth of Oriel...
Alright, so now that we're done with that, we can pretty much get the hell out of here. Go ahead and go through the portal to Darkfall Cave, and from Darkfall Cave we can pretty much leave. Now if you ever want to come back here, I think all you got to do is go to Darkfall Cave and just come back here. These arrows that he just gave me, the Sun Hollow arrows, are amazing, and I highly recommend you just go and make yourself like a ton of elven arrows, or just somehow acquire a ton of elven arrows. You can actually get 200 from the Dawnguard at a time, I think. I don't know who gives it to you. I think it's Gelmar, or no, that's not his name, Gelmar. Some I guess it's something like that. You know what I'm talking about.
Still,
all right, so we can talk to her now.
I think we both know. It's time to face my father. If we don't, he'll keep chasing us for the rest of our lives. I've been thinking about this for a long time. It's not easy, but I don't think we have much of a choice. No, this has to end here and now. If we head back to the castle and kick the front door in, we're gonna be knee-deep in his friends. Let's head back to Isran and let him see what we've got first. I'm betting he'll lend us a sword or two.
Alright, now that we're done with that, we can go back and talk to oh dude. But I was gonna end the video here, but decided not to. Go ahead and go back and talk to this guy now. But anyway, like I was saying, you can actually actually this guy right here. No, not him. But one of these guys you can actually buy, and actually you will see me do it in this video. You will actually see me buy like 200 elven arrows. So if you want to go back, I highly recommend you make a ton of those Sun Hollow arrows, because they are so good. Best arrow in the game probably now. Just because they do like 20 points of damage to sun damage to enemies, plus they do more damage to undead. It's just really good. So I highly recommend you do that. I'm not going to do it for the playthrough, but I would totally do it. Like, if I had another chance, I would totally do it. I just don't know how to find that guy again, which I'm sure it's easy. Here, yeah, Gunmar.
It's sort of a random assortment of things.
Or maybe she sells the arrows. I'm not too sure, but yeah, no, she sells the arrows. So yeah, she sells 200 elven arrows. That's crazy. And if you just sit here and you can probably buy like 1,000 elven arrows and go back to that guy and sit there and just tap A until you get all 1,000 Sun Hollow arrows. And just have infinite Sun Hollow arrows. It'd be crazy. Alright, so let's go ahead and sell her some stuff. Just get my money back. More than likely there's a lot of stuff I can sell her, but anyway, yeah, this is pretty much around the end though, guys. Like, I'm gonna pretty much, after we get done talking to Isran here, he's gonna tell us that we need to go attack the castle, and after that, yeah, this will be over. So in the next episode, it will be the end, and the next episode is just gonna contain nothing but combat of that last place and dialogue of that last place. So. Alright, let's go ahead and now talk to Isran and get this stuff started.
I've heard it described in tales, but I could never have imagined its beauty. The bow. You have Oriel's bow. I've heard it described in tales, but I could never have imagined its beauty. Indeed. The day hasn't been won while Harkon still walks Tamriel. But what of Serana? Can she be trusted to lift a blade against her own kind, her own family? I suppose that's as much as I can hope for. Let me address the Dawnguard and then we'll be off. The men deserve to know that we finally gained the upper hand.
Everyone,
gather round. Come on then, we haven't got all day.
I'm gonna go ahead and equip Arya's bow here, because I'm gonna primarily just use the bow in the last mission. I guess that's kind of the point anyway, that you're supposed to use the bow or whatever, but... Alright, so now we're pretty much I'm just waiting for all these people to gather. You have to like let the whole room fill up before he starts giving his little epic speech at the end.
For too long, we've allowed these vampires to poison the night and kill our people. Now, we finally have the means to strike back. We now have Ariel's bow. The gods themselves have favored us, and we must answer with action. The time has come to finally put an end to Harkon and his unholy prophecy. We will march on their lair and destroy those wretched abominations so they can no longer corrupt our world. This is our fight, and this is our fate. This is the time of the DAWNGUARD!
Give him a crossbow bolt between the eyes for me!
It's time we take the fight to their door. Gather your things and rest well, my friend. We meet outside Castle Volkihar.
Alrighty, for the DAWNGUARD. But anyway, yeah, it's gonna be pretty much it though. I'm gonna end the video here, and the next one, like I said, will be the final part, and we will be attacking Castle Vanguard, or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know why this guy's a coward and decided to just like sit back, but yeah, guys, so that's gonna be pretty much it. I hope you enjoy this. Like I said, in the next episode we will be finishing this up, and yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it. So peace out, guys.